Oh, hello, my people, great farmers. I welcome you to today's class. I am Land Cruiser. On a quick one, I want to share with us why early pruning is very important. Why do you prune your plantain leaves quite early? Uh, Early pruning is sometime between the first 2 months or the first 3 months. You should be able to prune those older leaves. You should be able to prune them off. I'm going to share with us 4 reasons why you should prune early. There are some benefits attributed to that. Number one is that it reduces the risk of pest or disease infestation in your orchard or your plantation. So imagine when you allow those leaves to begin to build up under the young plantain plants. So it's going to do what? It's going to build up pest quite easy because that place is quite humid. The pests such as grasshoppers, worms, spiders can easily do what? Build up in that manner. Even ants, some harmful, devastating ants can actually build up in that place. If that place is humid, pests will find that place quite, a home. But when you cut them off, they see that perhaps even sunlight can easily penetrate, and then of course they don't like sun to actually affect them. They want a place that is cold where they can actually lay their eggs and then multiply. So you want to do what? You want to do early pruning so as to do what? To eradicate that. If you look at this guy, uh, probably in the next 2 weeks we're going to prune off these ones, but for now this guy needs some of these leaves to do. I don't know whether you can see this very plant, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we need to allow this guy to do what? To come up a little bit before we do what? We do the pruning to avoid pest infestations. The second point here is that when you prune quite early, it improves airflow, good airflow pattern in your orchard. Imagine, just like I mentioned, pest infestation. So once you prune, the air finds its way right beneath the plantain plant, so it makes the avoidance of pest buildup quite easy. So because once the air is flowing, some of the spores, some of the fungal spores that can actually build up there, the air can actually blow them off. Once there is quite a heavy wind, they can easily be blown off from that very point. So airflow is very, very good. Airflow is very important. Once you prune those guys early, it will eradicate any form of disadvantages that might be happening right beneath there. So it's good to prune early to improve good airflow. So let's look at the third point, which is sunlight penetration. Just take a look at the base of this plantain. You see that it's quite free. We just prune the base. This will allow good sunlight penetration down there. If you look at some of the points which you've raised, buttressing on eradication of pests, it's just like sunlight penetration, which will deter pests from actually building here. So by the time the sun is actually getting in there, it will eradicate every pest. Of course, they don't like a sunny or arid environment. They want somewhere that is quite humid, just like I said earlier, where they can lay their eggs. So imagine when you prune off this place, those ants, grasshoppers, all the bugs, they will find this place quite uncomfortable. They will look for somewhere they can actually lay their eggs, which is quite humid. But in this regard, this will allow good sunlight to get there. That's our third point. So let's look at the fourth point. We're going to make use of this guy. This plantain is barely 4 months. It's about 3 to 4 months old, and we apply the same method. But this is the second generation of my farm. Every other plantain here is undergoing their first generation. This is the second generation. We harvested the mother plant last year, and this is the sucker already trying to give us fruit this year. So we did the same thing here. When we look at the base, You can see we've actually pruned some of the leaves, and then in subsequent time we're going to do same here. You can see some of them are beginning to dry up. These last leaves, these ones are beginning to dry off, and it's good we do what, we prune them quite early. Like I said, it will enable fast growth, allow sunlight penetration, and also reduces the risk of pests and diseases. This guy will give us fruit in the next 3 months. We shall be expecting fruiting here in the next 3 months. So I'll show you how neat. You can see how neat the stem is looking, because we do what? We prune. You can see these guys, they always do what? This is the last. They always build up in this manner. So once they begin to dry off, you'll see pests will begin to do what? Will build up inside here. Just as you have here, we are going to also do what? Prune off here, because it gives room for pests to do what? To build up. You can see them, some of those ants. It gives room for them to do what? To build up. So it's good you keep this base quite clean to do what? To avoid pest infestation. So guys, my name is Land Cruiser. So it's very important to do what? You take care of your farm, pay attention, detailed attention, not just to set up your farm, and then allow the farm to take care of itself. It's good to pay attention to some of these, details. They will help you have good yield, of course, farm free of so much diseases and pests. And of course, if you have your farm well taken care of, they give you good money, thereby taking care of you as well. So guys, see you on the next video. My name is Land Cruiser. Please follow and subscribe. Share this video.